Currently trying to figure out the insulation, and it's not fun because there's just loads of these little bits and they stick. So this not being square is obviously proving to be a nightmare. I need to somehow make the box as square as possible, fill up the gaps with expanding foam, so hopefully the least amount of gaps, the least amount of condensation. I'm probably going to land up either cutting myself with the knife or not having a freezer, because this is a horrible job. Can't really get anything super square, but we like a challenge, people. Otherwise we wouldn't have bought a €1 boat. Plus I think I've made a rod for my own back with a couple of things, but that's not the end of the world. We can get through it. So I really don't know what I can show you apart from me getting frustrated. I need to start trying to fill in this back area. It might end up being many half pieces tucked in, hopefully with the spray mousse as well, the gap filler. It will turn out not too bad. I'm gonna keep going with making pieces for the back, and I think once I've got the whole unit, as it were, in fairly good positioning, I can start with the expanding foam to fill the gap. So here is a nice big gap, so I really don't know how this is going to work. Your guess is as good as mine, but if we can, let's try and make it somewhat pretty. Then after that I can fold the board in, get the dividing board, and put a full sheet down my rubbish bin. I'm slowly getting the pieces in, but I'm struggling. I really am struggling with this one. And then there's also the added fact of how bad is the foam going to expand. I don't want there to be air gaps, and also don't want there to be a total mess of expanding foam. Maybe I have to do a little test piece. Half of me just thinks just to go for it and deal with it, you know. Rip the band-aid off and give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? I've got my cans of foam. I'm really dubious about the situation, but no point stressing it too much. And finally, the winter seems to be over. Those winter blues have dissipated, and we're starting to look at where we're going to go travelling to. Everybody asks where we're going to go. Probably Spain, the Baleares, Corsica, Italy, Sicily.
Just to clarify, the reason we're in a hotel room is not because we're traveling, sadly, as you might all know, but it has given us the time to think about our trip and plan our route.
Here we're using this time to look at passage planning, anchorage, winter mooring, or places we can hide. As you know, sometimes the logistics are way harder than the actual boat refit.
That is not exactly true. Logistics are easy if you have Simify.
And that's why getting connected for us is not a problem anymore. Simify is an eSIM. You can download data straight onto your phone without the need of swapping SIM cards. No hidden charges, no scams, or queues at the airport.
Yep, by the time you get to the end of that queue, I will already be connected, found my hotel, and be having a cup of coffee. Or tea.
You download the Simify app, pick the plan you want. They have over 150 countries available. The best thing to do is to set it up before you leave with a stable internet connection. And when you arrive at your destination, change a couple of phone settings, and within minutes, you're online. We can search routes, we can search anchorages, order stuff we need, upload videos, stay connected with friends and family, and we can do all of this without hunting for Wi-Fi. Get yourself a Simify eSIM, and because we're friends, you can use the code Seabird to get 15% off, or this beautiful QR code right here, and that will help you to stay connected on your next trip. We're here for a few more days whilst Marina recovers. We'll be back to the boat imminently, and before that, I'll leave you with me getting frustrated with the freezer. So, let's see what we got. Let's slide this in. First and foremost, this is possibly where I think I went a bit wrong. Screws in on this board. Just that. If we can get one screw in, we must be able to get two in. We got one screw in, people. That's the start. Two's a better place to be. Right, we're getting there. See if we can get a third. Yeah, this is where I messed up. I should have put this board on the outside of the batten, but you know, you live and learn. Oh. No, we're not having it with that one. Let's get a slightly longer screw. Just think how cold everything's gonna be once this freezer's working, people. Ugh. Bit better. Okay. One side in. How far off are we? Yeah, pretty good that. It's not totally square, people, but I won't say if you don't. It's not perfectly square. It's pretty off square, but c'est la vie. Once the fridge is in, you're never going to see it. It's in, and that's all that matters. Now let's give it a hoover. Okay. Along these edges, I'm just going to put a little bit of gaffer tape, hopefully to avoid any spillage. It's been a very long time since I've used some expanding foam, and I remember it being messy. Hopefully there's not a huge amount to tidy up. So I need to fill in that little gap and put 2 bits in. To get out of the way. It's obviously the good stuff, it's Pro Select. Shake the can. I'm so dubious about this. It'll be what it'll be. So I'm shaking the can. I was expecting something slightly more aggressive. Admittedly, I was expecting more fireworks, but no. Maybe that's a good thing. It's making funny noises. Well, I suppose we wait, investigate, have another go. We've got an escapee. So, the first can wasn't a total disaster. I probably could have cut my angles a bit better, but we'll fill them up with this stuff. So we'll give it a shake, and now we're going to try and stick the side pieces and the bottom first piece. So to begin with, probably try and run a bead in between, a bead along the bottom and on that side, and then see what happens. Wait, I'm stuck. Yeah, that'll do. Pretty gnarly sound. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have a go at sticking the actual fridge box to the base and hopefully fill up the gaps. And once it's in place, got a heavy weight, got a long weight, then I'm going to put it on the top and hopefully that will stay in place. So this one is mainly for gluing. I really don't know if I'm doing it right, but okay, let's see, can I fill up these gaps?
This is what Stuart does when he's not working. He works.
I made some of these.
He made some bracelets.
Yeah, they should be alright. It's a mixture of a few designs. It's either going to work or it's going to fail horribly. Well, soft shackles for the stay sail.
Okay, so that for the second foresail.
Yeah, for the slatter. So normally what a lot of people do is they'll use 7x19 for the removable inner stay. I hate 7x19 with a passion, so I've used Dyneema, and we got donated a trinket or a stay sail, so I've made some of these. I wanted to use 4mm, but they only had 5 in the shop.
Very nice.
I don't know, because a lot of places they want you to use this diamond knot and they're so complicated, so I just did a stop knot. So there's your soft shackle, you open it up, put it through, and there we are. The wind will hold it tighter, and we'll see how it works. It's either all going to come apart or
Not.
yeah. Why not?
And it's all been finished with the hot knife. Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, now and you had grey as well. Don't know if you can see that, that's our rinner on the block and tackle. Something like that. That's it, holds up the little sail. The inner forestay goes behind the windlass. Try and bring it back as much as I can, but I need a bulkhead or something to mount the inside of the chain plate onto. Or do I? The main sheet hasn't got a bulkhead to hold onto, it's just held onto the deck, so who knows. So this is what I've created so far. No real idea what I'm doing, but I'm figuring it out slowly. Now I've got to notch out this. Sometimes you've got to take a step back to take 2 forward. Maybe with the multi-tool we'll cut through that like a hot knife through butter. Okay. So now in theory that should fit under. That's alright, a bit tight, don't mind. This piece sits on top. Job is a good one. So yeah, rinse and repeat and tidy up all of this. So that's both sides leveled up. So with this one and this one, that is it. So the lid's going to be quite big. I'm not going to lie, I've missed the Mistral. People might say, oh, that wind's horrible, but the wind brings the sunshine. Yeah, sealing up this one. I don't really know if it's necessary, but it's soft wood. Let's get it sealed. Get it forgotten about. Paint the fence. Seal it all up, get it sealed. Beautiful, lovely golden colour. It's golden G4. It's actually a special product. Cool, that's done. So I've spent the morning cutting bits. Now between using epoxy and foam, I'm going to stick a few bits in. I'm going to start at the back of the hole, try and level up this area, and then probably epoxy the side bits in. Yeah, let's give that a go. This one. Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna see if I can clean it up now as opposed to once it goes hard. One heavy block. It does look like a bit of a dog's dinner, but it's all in the post. You know, once it's all finished and it's neatened up, it will be fine. These side bits, as I say, I'm going to epoxy. Ugh, why did I do that? Because they're all pretty square on. Maybe a little, once the epoxy's gone off, maybe a tiny bit of mousse, or just more epoxy. Managed to stick in one piece against the hole with the mousse. Had my lunch, and now we're going to try and stick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces in to start to bring the level up. So let's mix up this, coat this area, and then knock up a bit of the thickened jus for the good stuff. So just give it a little mix up. It's what I found when I did my experiment with the glass spheres, the bubbles, is it sort of not peels off, it doesn't quite stick, but it was also pretty dry, the mixture I created. So a pre-wetting, it might be good to go. Okay. Okay, the first brick is in. Now, squeeze that in.
It's like playing Tetris. Tetris or Tetris?
Tetris. I'm sure it's
My grandma used to play Tetris on a Game Boy.
See, that's that.
Every now and then I lift the mattress and air it a little bit, and that's what I'm doing today. But it's quite a lot of work because it's heavy and it's 2 mattresses. So I do one side and the other side I wash all the bed sheets. Well, the bed sheets I wash more often than lifting the mattresses, but
People don't need to see our private business, Mother.
well, it's part of the boat life. So I make sure everything is dry and I check that there is no mold. This thing has been amazing, keeps our mattress perfectly dry, and yeah, it's really nice. The other day we had the great idea of looking at how much we've spent in the shop where we buy the resin, and you don't want to know.
Okay.
Maybe you do want to know, but
It's got telephone numbers.
yeah, loads of money. I'm just doing the order, and just thought you might be interested in seeing the price. So I've ordered 6.5 kilos of mix, epoxy mix, and that is 152 euros. And then the powders, wood fill, which we use to work with wood, and then mixed fill, which we use to fair surfaces and stuff. And those are everything like that. And the wood fill is a bit more expensive, it's 51.50, and the other one is 30 euros. So yeah, simple order. This will last us what, 2 months maybe?
Yeah, well, how long's a piece of string?
Yeah, it depends which jobs we do, but we've done many orders so far. So that's 233 euros. There you go, the expense of the month. We just use this brand because they have their factory or their warehouse just around the corner. And when we asked the first time we got here, everyone recommended that, so that's why we use it.
I'd say it's on par with West.
Yeah, it's really good. I think we should have contacted them ages ago, maybe to be a sponsor.
We've managed to stick this side in and just put a couple of clamps on, just to hopefully hold it in. Next is to do this one and this one, and that's for the day. I didn't hit the record button. Whoopsie. I have the TV on anyway. Yeah, I think that one's stuck in. That's the other side in. A slight gap along the two edges. Let's see how it is once it all goes off on the hole. Say that's done. I've got the last few pieces to shape. This is the story of the shaping. So now I've got to take a bevel off the edge. And once it's all in, then expanding foam to hold it in place. And once that's gone off, I can put the top on. Basically, I've got to clean, get rid of all the bits of foam. Look at it all. It's been a foam massacre. Yeah, get that all done and then get to the moosing. Here's the pile of foam. There's the hole it's got to go into. So I think the plan is to start on the left, wedge that one in, then move to the right. Pretty much make it up as I go along. Suppose that's it. Just leave it now and hope for the best. Check out the consistency, just like marshmallows in the microwave. Yuck. Quick update. Oh no, it's expanding quite a lot. Whoopsie. I trimmed off the excess down in there. If I push the last bit of foam in, that's in a bit too much. It sits a tiny bit too proud. Here it's even a little bit proud, so got a few mil there, which is annoying. So it looks like I'm sanding. Yeah, so I've got to sand all this ridge down a bit so I can get that piece in, and then I can work on this area. There is the insulation. That seems pretty good. I've sanded it all. Now just the other sides. Yeah.
Is it snowing outside?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the end of this.
That looks very neat.
Yeah, I look a lot better once the fiberglass is on the side and everything can. Essentially, there's the freezer. That thing right there has been the bane of our existence for a while. Look at it. It's right in the way. So it's time to start on the next task, which is moving the fridge. What I want to do is just make a little mark on this cable. So if we say we need that much, if we put a touch of tape on it, we know that this much has always got to be behind the fridge, so we can pull it out. What am I doing? Okay. Now let's connect it back up.